Bailey Falter had complimented you last week and saying you'll hold people accountable. He really likes the leader that you are. So if you had to hold Bailey accountable to something today, after how successful his last two starts would be, what would it be?
You know what? I just want Bailey to be Bailey. Go out there and do what he's been doing. I mean, last start was tremendous, and his pitch mix, pitching off the fastball slider, mixing the fastball around through the zone. I just want him to be himself out there and pitch the way that he's been pitching.
What's been impressive about the command of the fastball? Because that's really stood out, especially last start.
It has. Early on, last start, it was a little erratic, and then he got into the flow and loosened up, was moving really well, and got it going. That extension he has, and really gets on the hitters, especially when he can mix it up and go up in the zone as well.
If you were a hitter against him, what would be threatening to you about that extension?
A lot. First of all, he's left-handed. I was, so I probably wouldn't have been in the lineup. But he's that extension is good, and then when he gets his slider going as well, it makes him really tough.
Clay Holmes is on the other side today. Did you have a crossover with him for that year?
I did, yeah. For a little bit.
What was your impression of him then and now?
Oh man, I mean, talk about a sinker. Just back then, command, he was working on that, and he's dialed that in a little bit, and really, has turned himself into a really good pitcher. That still the sinker, and pitching off of that sinker, and then throwing the slider. Going to be a good matchup for us tonight.
How important was Mitch's outing yesterday, just from a bullpen perspective?
Really good question. It was huge. To have him go out, throw 7 strong, and give those guys a break. Barucki was efficient there when backing him up, and Mitch pitched unbelievable. I mean, obviously did not deserve the loss in that game.
How'd you like how the bullpen guys kind of responded to a heavier workload? It seemed like a lot of them went 3 times in 4 days. Santana 3 in a row. How'd you like how they came out of that?
Impressive, man. I mean, Santana going 3 in a row. A lot of guys, like you said, 3 or 4, and really, 5 one-run games the last 5, and the bullpen has stepped up and done a good job for us.
Last night, Henry was saying he feels and believes that the offense is due for a breakthrough. Do you feel like that too, especially when you looked at the balls that Joey Bart hit and things like that have happened the last 2 games?
No doubt. Joey swung the bat well. Brian had the one to left center. It's going to take one. Everybody in there wants to be the guy to come through when you get runners in scoring position, and how do we help them stay within themselves, stay within their approach, and get the pitch that they're looking for to be able to handle it and drive it to the outfield instead of getting outside of ourselves and sometimes trying to do too much in those situations, which I felt like last night was maybe the case, and I think that you learn through all of it.
Henry's been the starting catcher for Paul and Mitch this series. How important is he behind the plate? How important has he been for you guys behind the plate and making sure those guys have done their job for this series?
Yeah, really good. He's done a great job those first 2 games, and it was great to be able to. Kutch goes to left field that first night, like we talked about. He brought it up. He wanted to do it. So him going out there opened up DH for Joey to stay in with Henry catching. And then yesterday, to be able to get Henry back there and Joey DH, it helps Joey out too. But Henry's done a remarkable job behind the plate, game calling and receiving, and had some big at-bats for us yesterday as well.
Is everything good with Joey, just in terms of health and everything? Just a couple down days for him in terms of
Yeah, that was it. Just trying to find time to get him DH, get him off his feet. But he's all good to go. He'll catch tonight.
Anything new on O'Neal Cruz?
Same thing. Day to day, getting a lot better. We haven't put the lineup out yet for tonight, so just trying to figure out exactly what his availability is. So he's doing a lot better.
That's what I was going to ask. Is Brian in the lineup?
Yes, Brian will be in the lineup tonight.
This might be more of a Ben question, but you guys brought in Hellman off from the Cardinals organization. What do you know about him, and what encouraged you guys to bring him in?
Yeah, really good question. Unique skill set. Very versatile guy. Shortstop, center field. Things he can do some things that a lot of guys can't do, and especially from a defensive standpoint. Like the bat and like having him with the Pirates.
Thanks, Vito.
Awesome.